crazy arms and all. It just felt like grasping a shadow. Love, I dreamt a dream and didn't know that it was over. You lifted my feet off the ground and carried me over your shoulder. My, oh my, oh my, what did we have but another hour of toxically twinkling lights to vanishing ships in the night. Oh, and you, with your head around your fingers, realize you were stuck fucking lady luck in a cheap charade like the good old days. And every word you told me, well, it felt like it was in our face, that it wasn't apparent that I'd lose. And I meant every word when I sadly long to be forgotten. Love, I dreamt a dream and didn't know that it was over. You lifted my feet off the ground and carried me over your shoulder. Oh my, oh my, oh my, what did we have but another hour of toxically twinkling lights to vanishing ships in the night. Oh, when you had me, I didn't feel lonely, I was unafraid. And when I said your love, I didn't expect you to go. Didn't I love you? Didn't I love you more than you could know? More than you could know. Love, I dreamt a dream and didn't know that it would only be over. I lifted my feet off the ground and carried me over your shoulder. Oh my, what do we have but another hour? Oh, toxically twinkling lights to vanishing ships in the night. Yeah, so that's Streamers. You can find that on my EP. It's the first track on it. And I've got a handful more that I'm working on that I'm rehearsing with. Bring out the full headset on stage. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I will do if my freaking in-ears don't work. It's fine. Do the gloves control the audio and the visuals? Yes. Yeah. So I can pull up some stuff and show you real quick. If I just move this over to this other monitor here. Yeah, so so this is my setup. It's in a program called Shatane. And it's this it's mostly open source. It's one of those ones that runs off of donations and stuff. And it's by this guy called Ben or whatever. And what this does is it takes data out of the motion capture. Here, 1 second. It takes data out of the motion capture software that's like proprietary from ManusMeta, the company, which is this thing. As you can see, I've got one glove turned on right now. It's the skeleton for it. And what it does is it takes all of the data out of this, mostly just the ratio, the angle with the sort of knuckle data here that it's calculating, and it takes probabilities for certain things like pointing and pinching and stuff like that, as well as the gyroscope inside of the IMU sensor in the backpack of the palm here. So you get a bunch of different sources of data. You've got like 0 to 100 for this kind of thing. You have probabilities for this kind of thing. And then you have, you have roll, pitch, and yaw, sort of like an airplane control. And all of those sort of streams of data are being ported out of the Manus software through some crap in the developer kit that's just like running its own program. We've dubbed this Spectraware, but it's just a mess of data, pretty much. And then we have it coming into Chitane. These are all these different state boxes for different tracks. Every time I press play on a song in Ableton on this MacBook, it changes the state that is currently active in here. So for instance, if I put on my song Star for a second, it'll change to the box for Star. Let me change it back to Dreamers, just because the mic is a little bit clearer on this one. But yeah, so now we have it back on Dreamers, and the vignette that is active, the state box vignette that is active is this like ethereal one here, and it has probabilities for just the open hand gesture, like this mapping right here that you can see. This is mapped to the middle knuckle. It's going from 0 to 100 right here. And then we also have a handful of these different ones for different types of mappings. So if I enable the effect 1 here, you should see more stuff start to appear. And I've just built this out with that guy, DJ Teo. We just built this whole thing out, essentially. So now you can see that these things here, we have the hand open MIDI map, which is the middle finger. We have the ring out, and then we have the pinky out as well. And these are all separate data streams that are then being sent as OSC data out from this to Touch Designer and to Ableton as well. There's a lot. There's a lot going on here. And then on the Ableton side, it just controls this sort of like meta knob thing that this robot backing choir, I guess, as I refer to it. It changes the timbre, just the tone of different things. And by me going like this, it's mapped to the middle one, along with those lines that I showed earlier. We do have some different visual effects for different songs, as well as like sample triggering for one of them as well with the left hand. So if you want, I can show you that one, just to get like additional data streams going, and then I can show you in real time what the sort of left glove does as well. And then I can port you to some different gestures, and you can see what those do. Thank you for the follows, Serenity, and Whistlebro. Yeah. I'm just rehearsing for my show, but I'm definitely always down to answer questions, no matter how nerdy they are, whether they're about the tech or the music or both or neither or whatever. It's just, I love being able to talk about this stuff, so any chance that I get to do that is fine by me. So I'm gonna put on my song Dare, and hopefully we can get the samples going once I enable the second glove. I'm also going to full screen Chitane on this other window here if I can. It's a little bit hard to run trackpads with these gloves on, but I do what I can, you know? Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, so that's that track. Hey, and they work right away. Beautiful. So I can show you what this does. This is birdsong. I have different bird samples for each pinch gesture on my left hand. Thank you, the Diamond Finder, for the follow. I appreciate that. So we've got birds. Have I ever had to modify the code? Or would I say it's been versatile enough for my music? I mean, I've built this myself, so I modify it constantly. It depends on what you mean by the code, though. But all of these gestures are custom made via different streams of data. And I can show you what that looks like in terms of combining different pieces of data from different OSC addresses into a single gesture. If that's something that you want to see, after this track we can go to my song Lion, which has a different visual behind it, and I can show you how a combination of the pitch and yaw of a gyroscope can create a singular swooping gesture that I've just mapped myself in Chitane. And that's like how all these gestures are created, is just seeing the data, figuring out what we can do, and then every time I want to do something new for a different track, I make it happen. It's a lot of data translation, protocol switching, moving things from OSC to MIDI once they get into Ableton, stuff like that. None of this is off the shelf, other than the hardware itself. Which I'm very grateful to have like an unofficial endorsement deal with this company to be able to work with this hardware, because it is really cool, like state-of-the-art type stuff that I would not be able to afford otherwise. So again, shout out ManusMeta. But yeah, let's run my track a Dare so you can hear the birdsong and the robot backing choir at the same time. The same one that we used for Dreamers. While I finish my coconut water. Yeah. Did I hear right when you said that I've gone to your head? When you walked me outside and I'm red under thousands of lights raining down. Did I see you smile just as I turned away and caught a glimpse? And I swear there were words on your lips, we were singing my name. And I dare you to take my hand. I don't come back till you think you're strong. And I swear to you, I swear, you're the thing I've been running. Would I start a fight if I knew it would lead me to love? Would you follow my lead like a glove to your hand? I'll be nice and warm. Would it close my mind when we talk? I'm over the moon. All your friends see a spark in the room. We're so obvious every time. And I dare you to take my hand. I don't come back till you think you're strong. And I swear to you, I swear, you're the feeling I've been and I promise that I'll be back. I am gonna adjust the automation parameters for the vocals because they're a little bit loud on my headphones, but I'll wait to do that till I get my in-ears working again. I think that's basically what the vibe is with that song. It's just it's hard to hear myself, right? But let me put on that song Lion. I'm gonna turn off the second glove. And then I'm gonna show you that visual, the combined visual that I was showing you, or talking about a second ago. Just completely taking this off, okay. And see what this looks like. Yeah. For whatever reason, the levels of this one is fine. But yeah, so when you get the visual of this, yeah, that's basically on the right axis there. It's sort of centered. Anyway, so the gesture that I was talking about earlier, where you can swoop it, and it is controlled by the yaw and the pitch. Apologies if it's hard to hear with this effect on, but this is the swooping motion I was talking about. So it moves over here, it doesn't do anything, but then when I flick the wrist up, it travels. The ball, like in the middle, just travels from side to side. Here, I'll keep standing over here so that you can kind of tell. Yeah, just moves like that. So when I do like a swooping gesture, yeah, so I had to program that myself with just like different conditions for when it would do that. So it's like just if-then type stuff. You basically are like, okay, this directs the actual direction of something, but it doesn't trigger until the pitch is activated. So programming that in as a custom gesture is just like, you know, making sure that the logic is there. And then there's also the roll. It just turns everything from like basic shapes. You got a square and a orb to like this weird squishy spiky situation. And you can still control the yaw and the pitch when the roll is at like an angle, like on its other axis. You can do the same thing with the swooshing gestures. It just is like this spiky thing now, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, so I'll do a little bit of that song so you get. Yeah, so yeah, some of this is shader stuff. A lot of it is actually superimposing actual like images onto things. Like, well, I guess, you know, it's not like a code generated shader per se. I mean, to some extent, in some parts of this it is, but the background is actually just a photograph of Liverpool Street train station in London that's been like smushed around in Touch Designer. Yeah, via shader technology and all sorts of other stuff, but I've also had some help with the visual end of things. Shout out to my friend Ascii Dragon for helping me develop the Touch Designer visuals. They know a lot more about that side of things than I do. I'm more of the audio and the gestural data and stuff like that. So if you have video specific questions, Ascii Dragon is the person to ask. So yeah, I'll play a little bit of my song Lion. Lion is also on the EP, but it's the remix version on the EP, so this is like the normal version, and then if you want to hear like the dubstep remix, that's the one on my EP. But yeah, let me just test the levels for this. Okay. Stones in my pocket, sitting polished like copper mirrors and jaded rims. I can't find my phone again.
Check my closet and find a little book that reminds me of you as the nights get cold and the memories fade. There's this fuzzy feeling that I can't replace. When I close my eyes and I see your face, I wish I could rewind through time and space to pull you through, look at you and finally say thanks for being alright when nothing went my way. And I wish I could show you everything you helped me make. There were heroes and heroes to save the day. You know I live like a lion every day, and there's no amount of sadness that can take that away. But there's no amount of distance that could fill your space. Yeah, you're stuck in my heart, and like a song in the morning show. A promise of both us, you know every times when I close my eyes and I see your face, I wish I could rewind time and space to pull you through, look at you and finally say thanks for being alright when nothing went my way. And I wish I could show you everything you helped me make. I wish heroes and heroes to save the day. I wish I could show you everything inside my brain. I wish heroes and heroes to keep things safe. Yeah, so that's Lion. We could do the visuals for Star. That one's really fun. Yeah. Thank you, Perry, for the emotes. I'll drink a little bit of water and then I can show you what's happening with my song Star. I'm also going to snooze ads real quick so you don't have to deal with that for a second. That song's your favorite? Thank you. Yeah, writing that one was a doozy and producing it. But yeah, I'm glad you like it. It's one of those ones where you're like, this is so hard to write in the moment, not from like a technical perspective, but because it's like sad and shit. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it's fun to perform, so I appreciate that. Oh, and the remix is fucking fire, by the way. Like, please do check that out on the EP. My main co-producer, Ascii, who's on a handful of different tracks on there, did that remix, and he killed it on that track. So please go listen to that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so this is Star, this next song is Star, which is the single off of the EP, and that one has some like tunnel visuals that are really fun. So I'll show you that. Yeah, I'll show you here 1 second. Yeah, so we've got these like feathery tunnel thing. And then the same sort of like knuckle gesture things that I have for some of those other songs with the vocoder, I just use for the visuals for this. So we've got opening of the like feather effect on the tunnel. And then I also do some like light sorting stuff. So when I hit the roll, like we did in that last song, it just creates this like light sorting effect that I think is really cool. And then another thing that I was telling you about where we just like put images and videos over top of stuff and then mess around with that is so when I use this pinch gesture, it activates the second state of the song. And so this behind me, this particular wormhole thing is actually a cityscape. It's like a flyover video of like a city, like the grids of all the roads and lights and stuff at night. And I can do the same like light sorting thing with this one.
And also, I can make like mirror shards appear. So I can just sort of flick them into the air whenever I want to like emphasize a particular word or phrase. But I can also just hold them there and have them hover for a certain point in the song as well, which I think is really fun too. I'm so glad you think it's cool. I think it's really cool. So when other people like are nerd out about it with me, when they like get why I'm so excited about it, I always am so stoked because I could talk about this shit for like ages and just demo it and all of that. Like I'm so excited that people are excited. It's a big deal to me to create something as an electronic solo artist that is a bit more visceral and synesthetic and has more variables than your traditional pop performance where you just kind of get up and karaoke over a track or you like DJ or push like launch pad buttons and stuff like that, which is all really cool. It's a mode of performance that I respect and appreciate when I see other people do it. But as somebody who comes from a more like live band or even theatrical background, I find that being able to introduce variables into performance that feel organic and feel ephemeral is just a big part of why I do this. So if you're like, why put all the effort into doing this weird way? It's because I feel like it adds something, you know. It puts a little bit of magic back in the room. So yeah, this is my song Star. It's a single off of it. I didn't fully warm up my voice before turning this stream on. It's just a tech rehearsal, so it's fine. I'm gonna stop disclaimering myself and we're just gonna play the track because it's fun. Check. Okay. You deserve better than the people you surround yourself with. Holding it together and picking up slack for your friends. And I know they're all fucked up, I'm fucked up too, that don't mean anything. But they all make excuses cause they know that you'll be there to take the blame. I know it gets hard sometimes. I wish I could tell you what it's like to not put up the fences every day. And you will always in the spotlight, even when you wanna just fade away. They think they're better than the people they surround themselves with. That includes you, babe, that's why they tend to treat you like that. And if I send you something stupid, that means you can tell me anything. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day you ask me, how do I get the fuck out of here? But I know it goes slow sometimes. I wish I could tell you what it's like not to put the pieces every day. And you are always in the spotlight, even when you wanna just fade away. Even when you wanna just fade away. And I think a star, don't let anybody burn you out. And I think a star, don't let anybody burn you out. And I think a star, don't let anybody burn you out. And I think a star, don't let anybody burn you out. Yeah, so that's Star. That's a fun one. You feel like you should be paying to watch this. Thank you, Cinematic. I feel the same way when you're speedrunning. Is the background being controlled by the motion? Yes. Yeah. So it's being controlled by the motion capture. So I can show you what that, we've got the feathery tunnel, and then we've got opening it up. And then we've got the light sorting. And then we've got pinch to activate the second state. And then we've got mirror shards that can appear. And then we've got light sorting on the second state as well. So that's all being done with the gyroscope and the other sensors inside of the glove. Thanks. Yeah, it's really fun. So it's the motion itself. Picture it like, so instead of like a momentary push button or a toggle, like a switch, picture it like a fader or a potentiometer. So instead of just like, this is off and this is on, it is actually the full range of 0 to 100. And it's a little bit more apparent with some of these other, if I do it really slowly, you can kind of tell, like on this other state, like this just goes away. And if I slowly open this back up, you can see the tunnel starting to appear again and getting brighter and brighter. Yeah, it's a little bit more apparent on the other tracks as well that it's here. Let me put it back to the visuals on Dreamers, which is also the one on the song Drugs that I haven't done yet. That's a cover by Uffy. I did it before y'all raided, but I can't remember if I did it after the raid. Anyway, so this is, yeah, you can see that it kind of works like a fader. So these lines start to appear, the orbs start to move a little bit faster, and as my middle finger opens up away from the palm, they get more, there are more lines, and the orbs move faster, like the further up I go. And same thing with the shapes. We've got these shapes that aren't here, and then the ring finger kind of brings them out just in terms of the lighting gradually. And same thing with these fractals in the pinky. Yeah, exactly. Was this inspired by the old school media player visuals? Yeah, somewhat. Like I definitely, I've been through a handful of different iterations of this rig over the years, both in terms of the visuals and in terms of like the hardware that I've worked with. And one thing that I wanted to, why is there a bug in here? I'm taking these headphones off as well because my head is getting sweaty. But one of the things that I wanted to do is like make sure that the visuals work in real time so that people can kind of like get that immediate effect when something new is happening, like those sort of swooping motions. And I want it to be able to be quick or slow depending on how I'm moving. And that's really hard to do when you build out visuals that don't look like this. Yeah, I would say that sorry, I just got a weird notification on Twitch, but it's fine, it's normal. I used to have visuals that were built out in Unreal Engine, and they were using like particle physics and stuff, but I found that I just could not get the point across fast enough. Like if I did a motion and it like splayed out a bunch of particles everywhere, it would still take time to change. It would still like if I spawned all of these orbs, like in actual 3D space in something like a game engine, it would just take forever to do quick motions like that for them to just on the like latency side of things because of how it's all computed. So making stuff that looks like a more old school visualizer just like frees up some processing in order to make sure that things can happen and feel like they're happening in real time. Because I really do want this like quick effect sometimes. Sometimes I want it to be gradual and slow. Other times I just want to like, and make it happen. Yeah, major lag spike on Unreal. Exactly. Yeah, so it just wasn't practical at the end of the day. It was a fun thing to do. I actually used to play with a full body suit of like perception neuron nodes hardware. I can also show you that. Let me dig that out for a second. Before I like run this last track, maybe if I feel like running it again. But I'll get the backpack full of perception neuron stuff and just show you what that looked like on the hardware side, and then you can kind of sense how that translated into what I used to do for the visuals, which I'll explain. So one quick second. I'm still on the mic, theoretically. Hold up. Yeah, I'm still on the mic, I think. And I'm just walking over and grabbing a backpack full of Velcro straps and sensors so I can show you what hardware I used to work with. And I'm also going to sit down for a quick moment. Is the source projector in front of me or on the ceiling? It looks like I'm blocking. Yeah, so this is just my rehearsal space, so like I'm not really playing any shows in here, and I move the projector around all the time to like develop visuals with it. So it's just sitting on like a case full of stands right over there. It's just like over here. So yes, it is technically in front of me. It is not on the ceiling. It would be nice, but kind of a pain in the ass. Exactly, Zoom concert. So this is my old perception neuron kit before I had the Manus gloves. I'm going to take this off just to demonstrate. This is the show for someone who doesn't leave your house. That's real as fuck. Kai, you can go outside. That is something you're capable of, is like going outside and touching grass for once. You don't have to. I don't often as well, but occasionally I get dragged out to a show or I play one. And therefore leave my own house. But this show on the 14th might actually be streamed, so I'll keep everybody in the loop on that. Because it would be nice to have you all with me in a little box while I have an IRL audience. Not in a little box, in a bigger box called a warehouse. But this is, yeah, so these are just Velcro straps that let me find one that makes sense. So these were the old gloves, and they just have a sensor in the palm. They don't really have anything else, no like bend sensors or a gyroscope or anything. They just have like a slot for like a node here. And same thing with, I'm trying to find one that I can like put on my arm or something instead of just the leg ones, but seems to be, the chest harness is a good one to show off. So, so this is a piece of gear where when I was using the full bodysuit, you take this array of sensors, and I've got the left shoulder that I just sort of pop into this thing here, wherever it is. I think it's this one. Doesn't really matter. I'm not going to turn on this whole setup. I don't even think these are charged. I was using them for that music video Star that you can watch at your leisure. But yeah, you pop the sensors in the back just like this. And these are just nodes that go in different places all over your body. And for the chest harness, all you do is wrap it around like the back like this. And like, these straps are all warped, but you just kind of like buckle it in like a seatbelt. And then all of a sudden you have these motion capture straps. So I can show you the back of it as well. It's like, and you've got the arm sensors, which are somewhere in here. If you have any more questions, I'll get to those in a second, and/or comments. I promise I'm not ignoring you on purpose, even though that would be funny. Okay, yeah, so the forearm strap here is something that I can show you as well. It's thunderstorming out there. Well, I'm not telling you to leave your house right now. Do whatever you want, but you definitely don't have to leave your house right now while it's thunderstorming. That would be rude of me to suggest that that was a requirement. And also, you don't have to listen to me. As long as the box has air holes. Yeah, it's important to have air holes. Yeah, so this forearm sensor, you just kind of strap it here like so, and then put one of the sensor nodes into that. And so imagine that like my entire body is just covered in these. It took a freaking ton of time, and it was a pain in the ass to play shows with the full suit. But sometimes I would do it, and then I would have like 3D avatar backing dancers behind me in Unreal Engine. And it was cool. It was really fun to just be able to do like choreography and stuff and then have them like go behind me and things to like the same movements. But the problem with that was that the latency was so high that they were like half a beat behind the whole fucking time. And I'm not about that. It was cool as like a novelty effect, but it didn't really achieve the like immediacy that I was interested in. So I kind of retired that and some of the other old visuals when I got the gloves, because the hardware is just lower latency as well. It was just a better combo of things, and I used it as an excuse to sort of redesign a lot of the rig in general. It looks like you're going bungee jumping, exactly. Have I used the gloves in this at the same time? Yes. I have done a few shows where I've used both of them at the same time, and while it does create a really interesting effect, it feels like there's a bunch of shit that's strapped all over me, and it's a pain in the ass. You're also going to be put in ad jail for a second, so I'm terribly sorry. If you would like to subscribe, now is a good time to do so. If you're not going to do that, that's totally chill as well, but just warning you that there are ads that I can't snooze that are going to appear in a handful of seconds, but they'll only be like 2 minutes. Yeah, the full body is, oh my god, it is awful. I mean, it's nice for a little bit. It actually feels like you're getting like a weird hug by a bunch of Velcro, but then it starts to get annoying after a while. And also, like if you want to go into the crowd and interact, like it can be a pain and all of that type of stuff. Let's see. Should we do a secret ad for the people who aren't in ad jail this time? I think I could maybe bring some stupid shit out. Let me see if there's a piece of hardware that's fun. The ad realm, oh no. Let's see, what do I have? I have a little Kirby. Look at this guy. He's Kirby and he's little. Secret ad. And then, oh shit, where'd he go? I dropped him, fuck. So we got Kirby. And then we have an automaton as well. This doesn't have any batteries in it. But yeah, I have an automaton and it makes very ridiculous noises. I really don't know what else to bring out here. Maybe a tiny robot. Uranium glass Corvette could be interesting. It's made of green. Maybe once I turn the visuals back on and they're like purple, maybe that'll look cool with the green. Does this show up? Does it fluoresce? Does it glow in the projector light? A little bit. It a little bit glows in the projector light. Maybe if I just have these. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of sparkles a little bit. Don't leave me here. Yeah, that's real. And just for a few final seconds, tiny robot. That's my array of things. Okay, and I think we're back. Glad you're not in ad jail to be able to see this. Yeah, to be able to see the secrets. There are many secrets. Am I still plugged into literally anything? I think so. Oh no, I accidentally unplugged myself when I walked away from the computer. So I'm gonna plug this back in to this, and hopefully I'll be able to hear. Yeah, I do hear myself now. Cool. Ads are over, yay. Cool. I guess I could do the cover song one more time. That song Drugs by Ascii that I do a cover of. While I've got you guys here. And we've pretty much dialed in most of the rest of this already, so it'll just be going from this tech rehearsal to like actually dialing in the little minute details, getting the track levels and everything perfect. But that's for not right now, which is fine. So this is sort of just a free show. Yeah, because I'm rehearsing for the one in LA. So basically, yeah. If you want to support me, though, in any way that would be akin to buying a ticket, you can buy some of my stuff on Bandcamp. I have a Patreon for my concert series. You can subscribe to me here, and that counts, or whatever. But no, you're not obliged. I'm just doing this. I'm just spreading the word about this fun, super fun technology. How much are tickets? So for the ADSR show in LA, tickets are pretty freaking cheap. They're like $20 day of. So, and we like run deals before the show. So if you get them online, let me see if I can drop the link in here. I wonder if that works. I don't even know what the command is. I'm gonna try a few. Nope, that's not it. Tickets, maybe? Like the full word? Hey, there we go. ADSR tickets. Am I gonna do drugs? Yeah. I'm gonna do the song Drugs. The song by Ascii that I'm covering called Drugs. I'm not gonna do drugs right now. This is Twitch. I could, no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm gonna finish my coconut water. And then we'll do it. Then we'll do drugs. And it'll just be the same visuals for now. I've got to make new ones for this, but I just haven't yet. And super top secret, follow me if you want access to my Discord when I set it up, because I will be setting it up and promoting it in future streams and putting it in my about and all of that stuff. And my Discord server, if you're a subscriber, will have a channel for a secret channel for unreleased tracks. So if you want to hear some stuff I'm working on for my full-length album before anybody else, yeah. Keep in touch with what I'm doing, because I will have that set up very soon. $20 ticket for the show and $1,000 ticket for the plane ride worth it? Hell yeah. Is it really coconut water, or is it something else? If I was like putting acid into my coconut water, I wouldn't give a shit. I would just straight up tell you all. But I'm not doing that. Lean coconut water sounds disgusting. Yeah, no, Kai used to be in LA and then became a traitor to go to grad school or something, right? Yeah, no, just come back to LA and then you can come to ADSR and it'll be way more fun than grad school. What the fuck? Okay, let me make sure this track works and the levels are halfway decent. Check. It's a night. Were y'all here when I did this? I'm just gonna do it again. If so, I can't fucking remember. But yeah, this we're doing it. Same visuals, same vocoder, different stuff. I went further. I did go further away to go to grad school. I can't say anything. I went to London. Yeah, okay. Which is in the US. That's worse, though. It's closer, but it's worse. And I stand by that. Yeah.
The drugs don't love you like I do. Don't walk away from me tonight. The clubs won't treat you like I do. Don't walk away from us tonight. Always waiting when you're coming home. Know it's bad when you didn't even take the phone. Try. Everything we ever wanted was in front of us. I'm begging you to try and see before we give it up. Do you love? Send me to Gucci Sabris. I just worry about you, darling. If you're okay, I'll stop calling. But you gotta know, the drugs don't love you like I do. Don't walk away from me tonight. The clubs won't treat you like I do. Don't walk away from us tonight. You're a legend, but you never leave the party yet. Step behind and I wonder where you are again. Gucci Sabris, I just worry about you, darling. I'll stop calling. Tell me to Gucci Sabris, I just worry about you, darling.
I'm gonna do this one again because the levels that I set for this are just not correct. You're really getting some insight into the process here. Let's try this again.
Don't love you like I do. Away from me tonight.
That makes more sense, I think. I know you probably can't hear a difference, but I can, and it makes me perform better. Let's do it.
The drugs don't love you like I do. Don't walk away from me tonight. The clubs won't treat you like I do. Don't walk away from us tonight. Always waiting when you're coming home. Know it's bad when you didn't even take your phone. Do I try? Everything we ever wanted was in front of us. I'm begging you to try and see before we give it up. Do you love? Send me to Gucci Sabris. I just worry about you, darling. If you're okay, I'll stop calling. But you gotta know, the drugs don't love you like I do. Don't walk away from me tonight. The clubs don't treat you like I do. Don't walk away from us tonight. You're a legend, but you never leave the party yet. Step behind and I wonder where you are again. Do I try? Tell me to Gucci Sabris. I just worry about you, darling. I'll stop calling. Tell me to Gucci Sabris. I just worry about you, darling. Don't walk away. Don't walk away from me tonight. Don't walk away.
listen to this. Check. So that you can hear like the difference in the timbre in the backing choir. I'm just gonna let this run for a second. I just want you to like I do. Don't walk away from us tonight. I don't really believe the body and it's the brain, and I wanna rewrite again. How do you try? Yeah, so that's the idea. Just gotta run it a few more times. It's hard to do.